Sir, should we start now? Okay. So we will start our program now.
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning, all. I, Snehal Dethe, welcomes you for our Day 5, Session 1 of ABP program. For this session, we are having resource person, Dr. Sandeep Kanitkar, sir, faculty from Khusro-Wadia Institute of Technology, Pune. He is having teaching experience of more than 25 years. He has done his graduation and master's from College of Engineering, Pune. He also completed his doctorate from College of Engineering, Pune. He is having specialization in subjects like hydraulics and irrigation engineering. He is having formal consultancy for building construction, water supply and drainage design, flood planning mapping, flood plan mapping, dam break analysis, and environmental impact analysis projects. He has command on various software such as Rivet, QGIS, RGIS, HICRAS, Minitab, and Python programming. So we are having such a techno-savvy person with us. So let's take advantage of his knowledge. I request Dr. Kanitkar sir to take charge of this session.
Yeah. Thank you very much, madam.
Welcome, sir.
On the outset, first let me thank the faculty of AI SSMS for allowing me to share in this particular session. Hello participants as well. Good morning to all of you. I hope you will be spending next 3 to 4 hours with me. It's a quite daunting task, uh, maybe for me, but probably it's also for you because listening to a person for at a stretch for more than 2 hours, 3 hours can be cumbersome sometimes. But still, as you are all aware, generally our listening focus remains active round about say 15 to 20 minutes. Probably that is what we have learned through this online teaching and learning process. So students, if we are teaching online, maybe focus remains up to say 15-20 minutes. Then probably they also need a break. So the same may be true with us as well. That is probably our focus also gets lost sometimes in such a exhaustive 2 to 3 hour sessions. So what I would like basically to do in these two sessions, that is this first session and the following session, I think it's at 12:45 onwards. So in these two sessions, let us see what I'm going to conduct. So the topics which have been given to me are basically applications of RSGIS into civil engineering applications. That is one part, and the second one is hands-on demo on some of the open source software related to RSGIS. Hello. Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Is there any issue with audio?
No, sir. No.
Okay. So what I was saying was with these two sessions, I have planned in such a way that with those two sessions, probably you will be in general have an idea as to how these open source software related to geoinformatics data can be used. One of my main aim of these two sessions is not to demonstrate as to what are the capabilities of a particular software or what probably I have done as a case study or say research and then talk about those case studies for 2 hours. That is not the objective of my session because that we can do some other time. the main focus is to demonstrate the capabilities of those tools, which probably we can use it to civil engineering applications as a faculty. And then if we are conversant enough, then automatically objective of delivering this to students, so that students are motivated to learn those tools and then probably expertise those. So that is the real outcome probably of this particular sessions. That is you getting motivated if at all you have not used up till now, and then delivering that same fundamentals and concepts as well as capabilities of those tools to students as well. Remember, with that in focus, that means our students in focus, I have divided these two sessions in two parts. So instead of talking very specific about application of civil engineering with reference to geoinformatics data, what I would like to focus more on how these tools and fundamentals can be used for such applications, and how these tools can be worked out. Okay, now in first session, what I will be discussing is about basically two tools. The first one is QGIS and the second one is Civil 3D. Now, both these two softwares can use data of geoinformatics, that is raster data as well as vector data, and then you process that data depending upon your civil engineering application. So that is first part of a session, that is this morning session. So demonstration of Civil 3D as well as QGIS directly on the particular application. So that is first objective. The second session, that is in the afternoon session, what I would like to do is basically vector processing, because in the first session we'll be focusing more on, say, raster data processing in remote RSGIS data, that is image processing, how to, say, do catchment delineation of a digital elevation model, which is either created from total station data or maybe, say, data from ASTER or SRTM data, that is elevation model data, and how to do catchment delineation, how to separate out catchments or watershed in QGIS, so that we can use it even in other subjects as well, like depending upon the catchment and the outcome of the project, like say hydrology, or say deciding location of a dam, or working out, say, volume of storage, or even in some quantity surveying applications, like you may work out, say, different watershed management structures as well as, say, cutting filling volume of road network, etc., etc. So there can be a number of applications wherein this digital elevation model data can be used. Session will focus on that in QGIS. It's a lengthy session of 1 hour at a stretch, wherein I'm trying to demonstrate to you through a recorded video, so that you can go through how this QGIS can be used to process digital elevation data. So before we start, just need to brief about those, is that this particular video, which I will be sharing through a link, you will have to watch it for about, say, 50 to 55 minutes through that link, and during the process, in the initial, say, 20 minutes, I have explained the theoretical background as to how this catchment delineation is done using fundamentals of digital image processing techniques. And with covering that fundamental theory, then we move ahead to actually how these things are carried out using tools in QGIS, like, say, GRASS or Saga tools. So the purpose is not to train you as to how this, where to click and how to do, but just give you overall capability, but in a systematic way, so that you know exactly from start to end how catchment delineation can be done. So you can also demonstrate this to your students as well, so that they are motivated. Instead of doing catchment delineation activity on topo sheets, now they will be doing it on QGIS with RSGIS data, or some other applications, let us say from irrigation or from environmental engineering point of view, or even in surveying as well. So that is the real focus. The second part, that is the short video, which also included in this session, around about 20 minutes. So you will be spending about most probably 1.5 hours maximum on watching those videos. The second video, which is a short video of a processing of data on the digital elevation model data in Civil 3D. So remember, QGIS is an open source software, so you can download it and use it. So it's available under Creative Commons license or GitHub. At the same time, this Civil 3D, as you know, which is an Autodesk product, which is, even though it's not an open source and neither free, it is available to students, as you know, as well as faculty for from say license point of view, that is academic license. So if you follow a proper procedure, then you can have a license of Civil 3D as well from Autodesk, and your students also can use it. If your institute is an AICTE approved institute, so you go through procedure and you can have access to Civil 3D. Now, one of the key features of Civil 3D, why I have used Civil 3D as well over here through say academic educational license, is because you can also use it and demonstrate to your students. And in that you have number of features like say sewer design, or maybe water supply network design, or say infrastructure like say road network, designing of road network, working out quantities, etc., etc. So all those things can be carried out in Civil 3D, and that is the need of time. Our diploma students should be more focused now on those skills as well, apart from whatever skills they have been learning up till now. So if they know survey, they know surveying instruments, then they also should be able to know as to how to use this data and apply it to civil engineering applications as well on related platform. So that is why I have included this Civil 3D, and where in that short demo, I have tried to tell you as to how a stormwater drainage design can be done using digital elevation model data. So this digital elevation model data can be either from total station data and you have prepared a surface, or it can be from digital elevation model data obtained from internet through USGS site. So all those details I have given in those videos. So you will be going through those. So that is about objective of these first two sessions. So you will have you will know capabilities of Civil 3D, as well as you will know capabilities of QGIS in processing of digital elevation model data. So this is all about this particular session. Now the important part, what I will be doing is I will be sharing a link to those videos in that open class, and you can click on those links. That link I will be sharing on WhatsApp. As you get that link on your WhatsApp group, please click on that link. I would prefer you are watching this lecture on desktop and that is better option instead of using mobile. But if still if you are using laptop, then just click on the link, the browser will open, and before you start with the video sessions, there will be two videos. The bigger video of 55 minutes talking about catchment delineation using QGIS, and the second shorter video about stormwater drainage design using Civil 3D, using DEM data. Both videos you can watch any one first, but I would suggest you to watch first the bigger video so that you get an idea as to how DEM processing is done. Have some patience in watching, because first 20 minutes will focus more on very fundamental theory related to processing of data, image processing. So maybe you have heard, or you know, or may not be of your interest, but at least you as a staff or as a faculty, you must know as to what actually happens behind in the tool and how these things are carried out. And in the second part of the same video, probably after say 20-25 minutes, you will be able to watch as to how I do those things sequentially in QGIS and finally arrive at a particular catchment, extracting a particular catchment. Okay, now you can, once you know the overall philosophy, you can use it and tell students to work on different projects like say watershed management project, hydrology project, stormwater design, maybe other projects related to air quality, water quality modeling, and likewise, or even say noise level mapping, etc. So there are a number of applications which will not go into details, but that is one of the main objective. As you know, surveyors or surveying data by land surveyors, when they do the surveying part, they are focused more on say part, topology part, and they can use CAD software also for that. When it goes to RSGIS part, apart from topology, geometry, that is area, length, coordinates, RSGIS as well as civil engineers are also more interested in attribute data related to that topology. So our focus becomes more as to use that attribute data. That is, it may be either elevation, it may be any other parameter attribute related to that point or line or polygon, whatever it is. It may be say elevation, water quality, it may be air quality, noise, or you just think of any other application. So all those point data, and the application can be of any other sector as well. It can be even earthquake intensity, it can be evapotranspiration, and you just think of what attribute data you want. It can be related to transportation network, planning of transportation network, urban planning, etc., etc. So once that understanding is there, then such RSGIS data can be properly used. So that is one of the purpose. So I'll share this link. Important thing over here is that while watching those videos on through that link, when you open that link on browser, on PC, you will easily open it, and then as a nickname, you will have to enter your surname first. So that once you enter your surname, then you can start watching the video. You cannot fast forward it or skip it. There will be questions in between, not many, and it's not to test your knowledge, but just to check whether you are watching those videos over a period of time, and proper attention is being given to watching those videos as well, so that you remain focused to watching that video. So you will be whole video with some inputs. So if you start with the video and put your mobile in pocket, then probably after few minutes the video will be stopped because there will be some question popping up. So unless you answer that question, the video won't go ahead. So that is the general check which I have given, so that you watch that video in totality. The sequence can be any first you watch first video, second video, that doesn't matter. But you will have to complete those videos by entering the answers, or whatever you think of. Those answers will be submitted to me as well, and at the same time I will be live monitoring also will be possible for me as to how many participants are watching and what progress they have made. So that will be about first session. So I hope you have understood this. If you are watching on mobile, then when you click on that link, if it asks for app, then if you do not want to install the app, then you just scroll at the bottom of your mobile when you click on that link, and if it is asking for app, then at the bottom you will find 3 dots. You just click on those 3 dots and there will be an option of desktop sharing, or sorry, desktop browser. So if you click that, then automatically the same link or same video will start in that desktop browser option on your mobile as well. But I request you to watch those videos on PC or laptop preferably, because it's a demonstration on a particular software. So simultaneously you will be able to see as to how things are happening, and probably then you may appreciate, or at least you will be motivated to work on your own and motivates your students as well. So that is the primary objective. Okay, so thank you for patient listening to my instructions and just brief. Now your focus will be on watching those videos. I will be sharing that on the WhatsApp group, and you can start with those videos once the link is shared. Okay, then I will be stopping with this live session, and your focus will be on watching the videos either on desktop or on mobile. Okay, so I'm sharing that on your group, as well as I'm sharing instructions as well, so that if you haven't heard me right now, you can read those instructions and accordingly act. I hope you have received those links and instructions.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you can use such techniques even to with your students through this corona times, through online learning, so that you can also have a check on your students as to whether they are really watching, whether they are paying attention. So remember, it's not to check your knowledge, but just for my satisfaction that you are watching as well as paying attention to the lecture as well. And you take something out of this video, maybe how to use QGIS in general, and then you can show it to your students as well. Thank you very much for your patient listening. As now I request you to watch those videos as well. Madam, should I stop now? I will be starting the second session at about 12:45, I think. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, in that session also I will brief in the beginning and then second link for the second session.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Yes.